Well, dozens of homeless people will be getting a warm meal and a bed to sleep in here this evening at the York Minster Baptist Church on Yonge Street. So this is all part of the Out of the Cold program that began 30 years ago. And tonight comes with special meaning as the program's co-founder, Sister Susan, suddenly passed away this week and amidst what advocates are calling a homeless crisis in our city.
It was a sadness for her that there was still so much need for it and that there wasn't enough being done about permanent housing for people who needed it.
Sister Susan Moran was often referred to as Toronto's Mother Teresa. She was a fighting advocate for the homeless who believed in going face to face with the city's most vulnerable citizens. Out of the Cold began back in 1987 in just a few church basements after a homeless man who Sister Susan befriended was killed in the streets.
She was working as a pastoral minister at St. Michael's College High School at the time, and she and some of her students had gotten to know this man, and he died. I guess he was beaten on the street, and it was very personal for them.
How are you today? Over the decades, the program has grown. It's now offered at 21 locations across the city, including in synagogues and mosques. Unfortunately, though, and I say that because it has expanded over the years and now there's 20 plus churches involved, and that's not necessarily a positive thing.
No, it's an expression of the fact that there is more and more people who are calling the street their home.
And the numbers are dire. Here's a look at the need from last winter. Between November and April, there were 12,115 overnight stays at the 21 Out of the Cold shelter locations. Over 28,000 dinners were served. 66% of the time, sites were operating at capacity. 14,000 TTC tokens were handed out. So you're saying that there is a need for more emergency shelters now?
Without a doubt.
And explain to me why you see that.
We are at capacity and there is still need on the street. It's very, very simple. We can provide more assistance. We just need additional beds. It's that simple. And there needs to be, I think there is the desire on behalf of Torontonians to make sure that everybody sleeps in a place with dignity and hope.
This year has already proven to be difficult. In December so far, there have been 5 days under the city's extreme cold weather alerts. On those days, several shelters were operating over capacity.
They are not opening up enough warming centers and they are not opening enough emergency shelters. That's why I am calling for the mayor to open the federal armories.
Sister Susan, who also received the Order of Canada for her hard work and dedication to the cause, often went to the church locations to hand out meals herself. Her vision for the future of Toronto, and just no need for Out of the Cold at all.
That would be the vision, that there would be adequate home for everybody.
Now, advocates say the homeless crisis is only getting worse because of the slumping economy and not enough affordable housing and shelters being built. And City News has learned that we're actually down 100 shelters this year because of a strep A outbreak at one of the cities, or rather, we're down 100 beds this year because of a strep A outbreak at one of the city's largest shelters.